Hello everyone, this is Rishabh Kotyal, your Azure buddy, and welcome to the another video of your Azure interview question series. As you know, in this series, we are discussing 4 to 5 questions per video and just try to explain those concepts rather than giving you the very bookish definition that what you should be saying. I'm trying to explain these concepts so that you can understand what is the basic theory behind it. And once you understand it, you can answer those questions in your own language, right? So without any further ado, let's just start your with your next question. Okay, so let's just move to the first question for this video. That can we host a VM in one region and connect to the another region? Okay, so if you are familiar with the connections, right, how to make a connection between the VM, between the different resources, how network work, this is going to be easy question, I would say, for you. Okay, so yes, first of all, answer is going to be yes. So why the answer is going to be in yes is there are multiple options. So if you have seen some other videos in this session, you would be familiar, and if you have the bit of the knowledge regarding the fundamentals of the Azure, you will be familiar that whenever we launch a VM, it always being launched in a VNet. So this is a kind of the necessary condition that whenever you will be launching a VM, it would be a part of a VNet. So yeah, then next thing is the question is saying that you are hosting VM in the one region, means, and VNet is a regional resource. So means if there are two VMs in the two different region, that means those VMs are the part of the different VNet, because VNet is a regional resource. Now to connect these VMs, you need to connect these VNets, right? Okay, this is the one thing. And another thing that you can simply say is, yes, they can, we can host VM in one region and connect it, connect to the another region. Okay, in one region and connect the another region's VM over there. So it is possible. Okay, and that is going to be, either like, if let's say that you are hosting a server in here, either you are using the public internet, right, public network, that is internet, and connecting it via them. And if you want a internal network, there are few other options as well which you can look for. So yes, the model answer for this one is going to be the yes, that it is possible to host VM in one region and connect it to the another region by setting up the interconnectivity while creating a VNet to VNet connection between both region. Now for this VNet to VNet connection, okay, there are few things. VNet to VNet connection, one is, if you have heard about the peering. So for one-on-one connection between one VNet to another VNet, you can enable the VNet peering, which will be connecting to VNets with each other, and it would feel like that they are part of the same network, right? Means simply, if I'm having a VM in the one VNet and VM1 in the one VNet, VM2 in the VNet2, right? So this is VNet1, this is VNet2, and they want to communicate with each other. So if they are, I have enabled the particular peering, and this is hosting an IIS server on the this particular VM2, and this VM1 can ping it or access it on the private IP address when you enable the VNet peering, right? So one option is to go with the VNet peering. Another option in there is going to be your using, using the VPN, right? So you can establish a VPN connection. And if you have ever launched a VPN connection, there is one option of the VNet to VNet connection. So that option also you can use for this particular kind of the situation. So the answer is always going to be a yes, that it is a possible situation. It is a possible scenario, right? So now let's just move on to the next, that is going to be in Azure, what is an availability set? Now, if I will start explaining this in a deep, it is going to be a very lengthy. You will not believe it. You can ask any of the candidates who have attended the sessions with me. They would be vouching for that when I start explaining this availability set, I usually take around 30 minutes to explain it. But how you would be answering this concept in the interview? So first of all, as name is suggesting, to make sure that your resource, your service is available, then in those cases we are going to use the availability set. And how it is different and what it is doing, that you need to understand. So when I'm talking about the availability set, I'm trying to improve the availability of my resource and services. So usually I'm from the security background as well, so whenever we talk about the CIA tried, this time my focus is on this A, which is your availability. So with the help of the Azure availability set, I'm trying to improve the availability in here. And moving forward, guys, there is going to be few more questions related to this part of the availability set. So we will try to understand this whole concept in this series as well. Now, when I'm talking about the availability set, okay, so the model answer for this one is going to be that an availability set is a logical grouping of virtual machine that help Azure to understand how your application is built for redundancy and the availability. First, just read up to this part, right? So means with the help of your availability set, you are making Azure understand that how your application is built and how you are going to make the redundancy. So we will be applying the concept of redundancy over here. Okay. And to deliver a highly available application and achieve 99.95% of Azure SLA, it can be improved. Microsoft recommended creating 2 or more VM within an availability set. That is Microsoft recommendation, right? And it can be improved further. Okay, now just to understand this, for all those guys who are working in the organization with the deployment and everything, or administration part. So if you guys are familiar with the things like the load balancer, right, to make sure that there is the availability. So what or how what we generally do, I will be trying to explain this via something that you guys are familiar if you are doing this. That if you are hosting generally in your own on-premise data centers, if you have one VM, let's say that you are hosting one Nginx server or IIS server or Apache server to host your application in this VM machine, physical machine, right? And suddenly there will be a lot of traffic, or someone is trying to do the DOS attack, it will be easily, unavailable victim of the DOS attack, and it is not available. So what you want usually, first thing is the concept of redundancy, right? Not only there should be this one, but you will be creating multiple instance of the same server, which will be hosting the same IS, server, Apache server, or Nginx server, and then you will be having some load balancer. Okay, now these load balancer will be receiving the traffic for you, then distributing this traffic so that you can simply go ahead and distribute this traffic over here. So in this particular part, when we are talking about these machines, now these machines are being launched in the cloud, right? Now you want to make sure that these are always available, improve the redundancy over here. So now, to improve this redundancy, what we can do is we can use something which is called the Azure availability set, which will be helping Azure to understand that how application is built for redundancy and availability. Means simply, you have to actually create a availability set, right? Like I'm launching one availability set in the East US. Okay, so in the East US I am launching this one. So my VMs, what I will be doing, I will be making them the part VM1 VM, okay, 1_1 1_2 VM1 1_3, right? All these I will be creating an availability set, and I will be making these machines part of this. So it will be trying to help the Azure to understand that how you have created these machines, all of them belonging for a same availability set. It will be making Azure understand that they are gonna host something similar, and I need to balance this and make sure that the availability is high. So it is helping Azure understand that how application is built for the redundancy over there. And in the availability set, you will be seeing there will be the two options, that would be your fault domain and the update domain. Now, how to use them, what are these? I am hopeful that these will be coming in the upcoming questions as well, that what is fault domain and update domain. And if not, you guys can try to give it a read, go and search for a few blogs regarding the same. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so let's just move on to the your next question. So next question is, in Azure, how many different type of backups are there? So in one of our these videos, we have discussed about the Azure backups. Now we are talking about the how many different type of backups are there. So more refined, it is trying to ask you that when we are talking about the Azure, how many type of replication, how many type of replication your Azure backup offer you to keep your data highly available. So that is what it is asking you, right? So do not get confused if someone is asking that in Azure backup, how many type of replications are there to keep your data highly available. So for both the questions, there is going to be the same answer there. So this is the reference answer, that Azure backup is going to give you the three type of the data storage options, okay, which is locally redundant storage, geo redundant storage, and zone redundant storage. Now, when we are talking about these options, if you guys are familiar with the storage, okay, Azure storage, you will be familiar with these types of the replications that we are talking about here. So we are talking about the locally redundant storage. Means I think everyone is understanding when we talk about the cloud. We are talking about a data center in a region. I'm talking about that now. I want to launch a very simple question. I think you can find my short videos on the YouTube discussing these geographies, boundaries, availability set, and everything as well. So when I'm talking about a particular cloud service, in reality, it is a physical data center where multiple host machines are there, multiple host machines, right? A lot of different physical servers are there, and a lot of your services are running on them. This is a physical building, right? So, in reality, that is happening. Now, there are different way that how each and every cloud service provider, they implement it. In Azure, we have the geography regions. Okay, like in India, there are three regions: central region, South Indian region, South region, West region, that kind of things. West India, South India, Central India, and your North India. Those kind of the three regions are in here. In US, you have East US, West US, East US 2, West US 2, East US 3, North Central US, Central US, like that. It keeps going on, right? So in each region, you are going to have this building, one data center, or sometime it extended it into the more than one, and at max three data centers, right? Data center 1, data center 2, and data center 3. Now when I'm talking about the locally redundant, what it is doing, it is just simply, you know uh, like this was one building in the same data center, in single data center, right? So in a region, when I'm talking about the region, right, let's say that it was the East US region, and there are three data centers, right? So in single data center, in data center 1, there will be the 3 copy of your backup, you know in one different machine, in another different machine, and another different machine. So that will be a locally redundant. In your just talk about the zone redundant, then there will be the geo redundant. When I'm talking about the zone redundant, it is going to be your, you know when we are talking about in the same region in the East US, copy, 3 copies will be there, one in this data center 1, another in the data center 2, and another one in the data center 3, right, of your backup. Now there is the geo redundant as well, means in the if east us, this whole east us is down, in that case then there is the option of the geo redundant, means east us, let's say it is paired with your west us too. So 3 copies in here, that were 3 copies in one data center in here, and then 3 copy in the another data center of the your west us, means first it will be applying the lrs, then it will be trying to copy the same thing into the another region as well, that in west us in one data center there will be the 3 copies of your data, right? So that kind of thing would be your geo redundant storage, right? So these are the 3 kind of the backup, or you can say the Azure backup is offering you the 3 type of the replication of your data to keeping your data safe or highly available. Okay, so let's just move on to the another question. Now in Microsoft Azure, what are the 3 type of RBAC controls? Okay, role-based access controls. Now the guys who are familiar with the roles, with the AD information identity, it would be very easy for them, right? So when we are talking about the role-based access control in the Azure, there are actually, if you will be seeing, there are n number of the inbuilt roles, but here we will be talking about the 3 main roles that's been defined, and we're using the same concept. We will be going ahead and talking about that, what are there those different hundreds of RBAC role. Yeah, we are going to talk about the 3 primary or classic RBAC rules here. Now let's just see what are those 3 basic rules. Okay, there are 3 type of the RBAC control: owner, reader, and contributor. Okay, now these are the basic one, very basic one. Okay, and based on these there are going to be the n different kind of the your RBAC controls as well. So when we are talking about these RBAC controls and everything, to understand this, I'm going to give you the one example of the virtual machine, right? We have the VM here. Now, when we are talking about the VM, what is happening? Uh, let's say that this was a VM and it is in the running state. Okay, it is in the running state. Now, there are 3 roles and name is already self-explanatory, like owner, reader, and contributor. Now, if I am giving someone the role as the owner, okay, owner. Now that owner, if I'm an owner, let's say I have a flat, I have a piece of land, so I can do whatever I want, right? So whatever is allowed, okay, nothing illegal. I'm talking about all thing that is allowed. So again, Azure has some set of boundaries that what you can do. So all those things you can perform in this VM. It is in the running state. You can stop it. You can delete it. You can give someone else the access of this. It means renting out kind of thing, right? If I am having a flat, I can give it to someone else for rent, and everything, right? I am the owner. Whatever I want to do, I can do it. Run it, stop it, delete it, give someone else the permission. Like there is the user Jane and user John, and I want to give Jane and John both the access of this VM. Now I can do that because I am an owner, right? Now, as a reader, okay, so this is first thing. As a reader, I can only read this machine, that yes, there is a VM which is in the running state. It is part of this resource group, and these are the owner, these have the permission and everything. But if this user want to go ahead and stop this machine, it is not allowed to do that, right? It want to stop it, start it, connect it. No, it doesn't have those permission to go ahead and work with this VM like that. So that is the another role. Then there is the contributor. If let's just say that you are an owner and you give Jane as the access as your contributor, right? So you can think that this person is a kind of your caretaker. So if Jane want to stop it, again, restart it, stop it, Jane can do whatever she wants to do with it. But What she cannot do, she cannot give it to the someone else, like giving the John that you go ahead John and you can just have this machine. No, as a contributor, few limited rights is going to be with the chain. So when we are talking about these three rows, there is owner, reader, contributor. Owner owning it can do anything. Reader can only read it, cannot do apart from this. Then there is the contributor. Contributor can contribute, means start, stop, those kind of the actions can perform, but it cannot go ahead and simply give someone else the access of it. Yeah, this is it. So contributor is like your caretaker, but no, not the but yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so we were talking about the contributor. But if you have seen the or deal with it, so you must have seen there are hundreds of roles. So what are those roles? Those are roles are like storage, blob, reader, virtual machine, contributor, virtual machine, reader, right? These kinds of role are there. So if you will be seeing that there are hundreds of different rules, application based, storage based, VM based, blob based, table based. So these things are, again, base is same. Base is saying that this is the very basic thing, these owner, reader, and contributor roles. And in the end, these things are going to take preference. So these are the three basic and classic role for our particular RBAC controls. Okay, so the answer of this question, where we are talking about what are the three type of RBAC controls, those are owner, reader, and your contributor. Okay, so this is it, guys, for this video. Keep following us, join us. If you want more webinars, seminars, want to learn anything regarding the Azure, regarding cybersecurity or any other course, you can contact our website, our salesperson, and you can get to know that what courses we are offering. And I'm pretty sure that you will be having a great learning experience. Subscribe us, and we will keep dropping these small question series, small interview question series for you. Okay, go ahead, enjoy your day, be safe. Bye bye, take care. We will meet in next video.